Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the newest episode of the most must-see podcast in the NJSSL. Welcome to my guest Rehan. Say it for me, my friend, nice and loud. What show are we watching?
We're on the cutting edge right now.
Yes, sir. Yes,
The one
sir.
and only.
The one and only. And I am honored to be with you with our guest today, who is one of the youngest members in the NJSSL. He is a key player currently for the NJSSL Jazba Hawk. He is the man behind many of the video and audio special effects and everything that you see online for the NJSSL. He's probably I know he's got some in with the NJSSL Instagram page too. So please welcome my man Redge Kazmi.
Yes, sir. I've been in this league since it was literally a thought, and to see what it's grown into now is crazy. And I'm really hyped to finally get onto the podcast because I've been seeing all these episodes and dude, I need to get on and talk some work too.
You gotta talk that smack on the cutting edge. I
Definitely.
hear you. I'm ready for you. Real
Definitely.
quick, this episode of The Cutting Reg is brought to you by Timeless Creations. Timeless Creations is a woman-owned wedding decor business started back in 2016. It has been a part of many members of the NJSSL's lives. It is actually led by the wife of NJSSL, coach of the year as far as I'm concerned, Shoja son, and
Yes, sir.
mother of Farhan son, as well as involves guys like you, Rehan, as well as Sean Cosme as well. It's a full wedding and party decor service in New Jersey. Also serves PA and Delaware. They'll provide you with Mandy's, Valima, wedding reception, nikah, backdrops, decor, everything that you'll need for any sort of event. They can do balloon arches. They'll hit you with whatever you need. And here's just to give you guys a little piece of what Timeless Creations is all about. Here's a little bit of a preview of what they have that you can see. Hold on, if I can get the computer to work. Bam! Look at that! Look at that! It's beautiful, Rehan. Your wedding's gonna be beautiful at
Yep.
Timeless Creations, my dude.
Definitely.
All right, and that you think that's all? We've got more for you. We've got more. We've got bam! Look at this! Look at that! Look at that! Look at that! Timeless Creations. Please hit them up for all of your decor needs, whether it be weddings, whether it be just a straight event. Clearly don't know what I'm doing here. Hold on one second. Oh my god! All right, this is just getting ugly. All right, there we go. And so if you need their info, please see it right here. We got the phone number, email, Instagram, Facebook. Hit up Timeless Creations for all your decor needs. With that being said, Rehan, let's talk about week 7 of the NJSSL. This was a crazy week. All sorts
It was
of
actually wild.
It was insane. All sorts of weird things happened. We got first wins for the Guardians of Aqeedat. We got first win for Aqeedat the Muslim over the Commanders of Murtala. We've got a crazy matchup between Just by Huck and the Enlightened Elite. First off, what are your general thoughts on that week, man?
All right. Well, first of all, I did not know On Merchant's team was going to come out like that. Especially looking at that first few seconds of the game when I was coming in, I was like, dude, I automatically thought they were not going to win. You see that type of outcome from there, I was like, dude, there is no way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was first of all they started off probably better than most other games that they've played, but Commanders were really in charge of it, and then all of a sudden they just took over. They
Dude,
absolutely just took over. In fact, why don't we start with that game? Why don't we start with talking about the Commanders of Mustafa versus Aqeedat the Muslim? Like I said, this was Aqeedat the Muslim's first victory. I think
yep.
the final score here was a 1-point difference. So I'm gonna pull it up, unless you know it off the top of your head, my dude.
Nah, I think it was. Check.
Here, I got you. It was 52-51. Aqeedat Muslim with the final score. I don't know if these stats are accurate because this is saying that Faisal only took he was 2 of
He
5
has
from.
2 makes, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then 2 of 9 from 3. So 4 of 14. The big one I hear is 7 of 11 for Mustafa Razad. That was huge. Kept them alive. And Asad the Merchant. Okay, this game made Asad the Merchant officially a 3-point
Definitely.
shooter.
100%. 100%.
5 of
100%.
7. He went nuts. Other thoughts on this game? Do you have anything? Because
All
I
right.
got a bunch coming up.
So when we were looking at this, even when I said I did not think on Merchant's team was gonna come out like that at all. But I was looking at the roster, just looking on paper, you would automatically assume that these guys would not even be able to touch these at all. Like, you have a team that has on Merchant, us with Merchant, and Mustafa Raza as probably, and Faisal Ali as well, probably the top four. And the other team having us with Rizvi, Misa Ali Khan, Rak, and Jaffer, on the other side.
And
It
Abbas
looks like
Haider.
head to head, like it looks pretty equal, but for this to come out on top, I mean they haven't been winning a lot. And I know he was really upset over the outcome of a lot of the games from beforehand. And to see this happen, like it gave him a lot of hope for the future. But I still don't think this team, either one of these teams, have a chance of making it at the end either. But personally,
That's big talk. Well, let me tell you. This is as I was watching this game. The first thing like I said, us the Merchant, a 3-point machine. Even Fa, I have him, like he was playing really well. He was returning to Raptors level form.
yeah,
Abbas Utter played pretty well, like overall. I mean, I think compared to some of the other games he's had this year, he kind of had
mm-hmm.
a so-so game, and that probably contributed to them not playing so well, or like to that team not winning. There was one like really controversial 3-pointer, but they ended up giving it to him.
Yeah.
The big two things I want to point out from this game: Rak, Raza Khan. I'm surprised you have any hair on your head left, my man, because you were ready to pull out all of your hair throughout this
Oh
entire
my
game. The amount
gosh,
of screaming, it was insane.
I remember.
Go ahead.
It was crazy. I think it was him or it was his brother. I think who actually, they were both getting heated as heck in one of these games, dude. It was
Well,
crazy.
Rak was definitely heated throughout the whole game. It was so wild, only for like the
Yeah,
randomest things too. And then hey, no, but we got to give it up to Aqeedat here. Aqeedat the Muslim.
definitely.
Let me tell you, this is the best I've seen them all season. Like they had excellent ball movement,
Yeah,
excellent chemistry. Like
100%.
it all came together for them.
And from like seeing, I think there was one game. There was kind of a rumor. People said Faisal like quit. He quit the game, but I think he just literally got tired and just stopped playing. But from seeing that type of attitude and then seeing them actually win a game like this, it does give me some kind of hope. But I still feel like this team doesn't have any chance at making it towards the end. To be
Yeah,
honest,
yeah. I think definitely. I think they have a long path ahead of them if they really want to
of course.
make a run here. But that was pretty good. That was pretty good. All right, let's talk about the second game. Let's talk about the Warriors versus the Alamdars. So the
Right.
Goliath Warriors versus the Abbas Alamdars.
All right.
You want to go first? You got something for this?
So like, it was kind of crazy to me. For Han, he does not. It's like a thing where he doesn't really like taking losses at all. But I know that from him playing with his shoulder, like he doesn't really want to play too hard as he can. So that's what I really have to say first before even talking about this game, because if he could play to his full potential, same way as if like Mo Sid could play to his full potential, then the games would be completely different. But the thing is that you know them losing in this game, I feel like definitely when Farhan's attitude is down after getting a loss, it doesn't really help like at all for him in the future either, which is kind of crazy. But
All right, so
even
what I'm hearing.
Alidina on the floor, he's been putting up so much work, which is crazy that people have not been noticing. I think enough. This
Mhm.
guy went from like I think in the first season he played not scoring like a lot in any games, but then now he's actually putting up points that are making like a crazy difference in the end of the
It,
game.
Definitely. I think I'll tell you. So just kind of to go back a little bit. First off, the big thing to note with this game is Alamdar is they were playing with 4 guys to start the game, and then
Yeah,
Shumper was like their 5th guy.
yeah,
So I think that was tough against them. I know this was not a good game at all for Mehdi Joffrey. He seemed to be struggling. Farhan
yeah,
actually, despite the fact that he's a little bit injured, he definitely still put up good numbers in the end.
definitely,
And
100%.
watching him play, he played really well. But here's the thing: I don't know. I mean, I think that the Goliath Warriors are really finding their ground
Hundred percent.
as a team. Like Rayyan really stepped up, like you said. He, I think, has officially made himself
A
without a doubt
prominent player,
second
yeah,
round pick status. Like
definitely, yeah, yeah.
100%. Like he's just killing it. Like he's hitting his shots. He's ball handling very well.
He
Playing
established a
well, he's
role on that team,
alive.
crazy, yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I said like on that team, definitely he's established like a role, 100%. And even just looking at it on paper, like it's like you have Sayed Ali first of all, who even on our team UNC showed up. Like we didn't even know when he picked him in the first few seasons. Like he was this good at the game, and then seeing him on paper with Fitris as well, and then reality, on top of that, Nabil Ahmed, but he wasn't even
He's
doing
injured,
anything.
so
But
he's out.
yeah,
But
But even on paper, they just look crazy. And Mazar Dada too, which is even he's not able to play in that game. I don't think.
yeah, no, their team is really good on paper. I think their issue is that they just didn't have any chemistry in the beginning, but now
Yeah,
they're getting that chemistry. And
100%.
they didn't have Mazahir this game, but like Saeed Ali was on fire in the second half. Fiddy is playing the way that he was on the Blazers. Like he's hitting shots, he's getting rebounds,
Exactly.
he's playing really well. So that was huge. I think for the Alamdars, I think them being like a man down or like having several guys not
Yeah.
on the team not playing hurt them. HK did really step it up. I'll give it to you, HK. You did step it up. I think if Mehdi had a better game, I think it would have been a closer matchup.
My question is, if these guys had a full roster, do you think the outcome would have been any like? Do you think it would have been a big difference?
It's hard to say. It's possible. It's possible. But both teams didn't have their full rosters, right? So
Yeah.
like,
So
these guys were missing Mazahir, and these guys were missing like Gamran. So like anything could have happened.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
But hey, fact of the matter is the Almdars could not pull it out against the Warriors. The Warriors move up to 3-4, and the Almdars down to 5-2. So we'll see kind of how this upcoming week goes with
Yeah,
them. Moving on to the next game, we've got the Juzbai Huck versus the Enlightened Elite. So I've got a lot of things to say about this game, but you played in this game, so you tell me what
I
your
did.
thoughts were.
All right. So I mean, obviously, it's me versus my brother, which is another heated thing. That's already first of all, every game I play with him, it's already gonna get heated.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was also ZJ versus Shadok, which is like, dude, when you're playing on that, it's like literally playing with two NBA players on the floor, and then it's just me running after Sean the whole game, and Sean running after me the whole game, pretty much.
100%.
But I think it's just insane to me the way that, first of all, Shaduk plays like a college level, like D1 athlete, and then he has Sean as well on his side to just run and get the ball whoever he needs. So he literally has them two alone running the court makes like it's just a powerhouse on top of you when you're playing. I mean, like when me and ZJ were on the floor just trying to handle it down, like we were doing good in the beginning, but then Sean actually told me that he thought that he was losing the whole game. So he thought that's why he was just heated. So anytime that he would come down, ZJ would just start talking trash and trying to get into Sean's head. So he was just angry the whole time. I guess there's honestly another huge reason why they won because he literally thought that he was losing. So it
Oh
was
well,
just wild
and
on the
that
floor.
certainly could be possible. I will say Sean definitely played his role here. Like he played his second fiddle to Sharuk. He scored 16 points, and
Yeah.
Sharuk with a whopping 66 points in this game. I don't know if that's accurate, but that's insane. He did score obviously most of the points as he typically does.
Yeah.
66 is wild, and let me just kind of take this from top to bottom. Both like when this game started off, both the teams like played really well. Like there was good chemistry kind of all around. Like your whole team was actually keeping up with them
Yeah.
pretty well. I think you guys even had a lead for a little bit.
Yeah.
And Sean actually started off really hot. He was like, anytime there was like a rebound, and
Yeah.
Sean
He was
got the ball,
on
he
that.
got it all the way down to Sean on a fast break, and it worked out really well.
Exactly.
Shubber, I just wanted to point out, was an excellent cameraman for this game. Uh, and then
Yeah.
as the game went on though, like as especially like towards the end of that first half and completely into the second half, Shark just took over. And
Yeah.
ZJ did a good job to try and to hold them off. He did the best he could. Zolfi did pretty well. Haider did pretty well, but like at the end of the day, Shark is Shark, and it's hard to
Yeah.
dispute.
That's
The
you
one
know.
thing I really want to point out, especially with you on Ray, I saw this in the second half. You tried to take on Shark twice. Like you tried to ice on twice, and he embarrassed you both times, bro. After the first time, why would you even try it a second time?
All right. When I'm looking at the scoreboard and I look at Shadok in front of me, it's like my ego kind of just goes up because I'm like, all right, we're already losing, so like I might as well just try and take this chance to my advantage to try and get past him and maybe make a clip. So I was
Oh
just,
my goodness,
I don't even
bro!
care.
That definitely better be on there. I want there
At
needs
that
to be
point,
like a moment of the year, and you taking on Shark.
dude, like I mean, these guys scored. It says these guys had 86.
Yeah,
That's like NBA level points. Like this, these guys are throwing up. I think that's honestly a career high for NJSSL. I haven't seen a higher
might
points
be.
than like 86. I don't think I've ever seen higher than that because it'd be in the 90s.
Especially
But
without like an overtime or something like that. But yeah, actually, even that triple overtime, yeah, I don't think that was even. I mean, it might have been around
never,
that, but I don't know.
yeah. And like honestly, like when you're playing against Shaduk and it gets to the point where they're already 10 up and there's only like 4 minutes left, you just want to quit. So that's probably honestly half the reason why they got this type of lead over us. But
Maybe.
in general, I think if we had like a little bit more morale during that game and could like, and honestly, I was just tired that whole game. And I did. This was probably one of my worst games this season as well. But I do have to say that even Ion, he stepped up insanely. I didn't even expect him to be like this good of a basketball player. I mean, not in this game, but
Yeah.
in the games before. I have to say, like I think he had like 9 points one game. Like he actually puts up crazy numbers that affect the game heavily, and he has a lot of people got to look at him more. I think he could definitely be like a third round pick.
Yeah, definitely. Ayan is definitely, especially in previous weeks too, more so than this past week. He puts up solid numbers. He's definitely a solid player all around. Certainly, I think Judged by Huck is a strong team, but just could not get it done this week. But hey, they'll look forward to getting it done next week. Let's move on to the next game. Let's talk about Shujaat Al versus the Najwans. This was a pretty. It wasn't a one-sided game. It was a pretty good game. I mean, the Shujaat Al I think, also only had 4 guys this week. They ended up picking up Mehdi from Aqeedat the Muslim as their 5th guy. I don't
Dude,
know if until their 5th guy came. 64-54 final. AA definitely took over this game as he does every game. Like in terms of being the top guy, but also like I don't know, Shujaat Al they're just such a like they make it work. They're a well-rounded team.
exactly.
Every guy plays their role, and it's amazing.
From the beginning, a lot of people looked at Shirato yesterday and kind of just grazed over it because they didn't really think, having just Miz as the first round and then AA, they thought kind of that was it. But what I knew from the beginning was that Miz's plan all along was to just take AA, and whatever he had after that, he would have been fine with in general because he knew that a lot of people they looked at like he thought AA was a ball hog, like a lot of people just can't play with him correctly, but I think Miz and him definitely nailed it on the floor this year with even incorporating Nabil too with his defense. This game, I don't think he showed up, but
Yeah.
even before, like he plays a huge role on defense, and they've been able to control the floor a lot different than I've seen from AA's teams in the past years. Definitely this year.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I will say, like AA, definitely he's been a complete total package this season. I mean,
Yeah,
like just in this game, he had 5 assists. He still ended up scoring 38 points. He had 4 steals. He had 12 rebounds. Like he
yeah,
is just literally on
crazy.
top of it. So excellent work there. He's got excellent help with Said Daniel, the big man. Good help from Rames with the 3 pointers. And then he's got Irfan there too, and that was it. It was just the 4 of them actually this whole game, I think.
That's
So
crazy.
that's been impressive. And really
Yeah.
they still find ways to win. The thing that I noticed with this game were the Najwans, tons of turnovers, too many turnovers. Like between
Oh
Adil,
my gosh, yeah, I'm seeing this.
and Ali Mirza, just like their stock, I think is going to go down. Especially
14.
Adil's stock is going to go down because like I don't know, like he just did not show up this game. I felt.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, I do have to say in the earlier games, this team was. I didn't really look over it, and then Mo said just again. I think I said this earlier. He randomly just pulled up and just started playing. So I didn't expect him to even have any minutes this season at all because I thought that he was going to have an injury that, I guess he's playing a little more comfortably on now. But him coming onto the floor makes definitely a way bigger difference than anyone thought. Even though he is playing with an injury,
Mhm.
because I mean, like he's Mo said this. He's a championship player at the end of the day. Like,
Yeah,
and seeing Ali Mirza on the floor too with A again. I mean, it's insane seeing how Adil, Mosid, and the 3 of them, even Mosid being handicapped, couldn't even take it against these 4 people, which is
yeah, no,
insane.
it's definitely it definitely did not work out. The one shout out I have to give, and I feel like I give this guy a shout out every week, is Arhum Shah again. Like
Oh my gosh, dude!
he's like the most consistently strong offensive player in the post. Like
Let
he
me
will
tell
he will
you,
hit that shot every time.
this guy, I was on UNC with him again. With me, it was me, Sayed Ali, Professor Bobby. We were all playing on that team. Me and him. I'm gonna be honest. That season, we got like probably 2 minutes every game. So I mean, we didn't see the most of Arham at all. I mean, he didn't have any points per game. But now, I think after hitting lifetime these past few years, like he's been actually putting in work and he's being a solid player and actually making a huge difference on his floor as well
Hundred
with
percent,
this
hundred
team.
percent. Armstrong, good work. You're outshining the rest of your team, my friend. Now moving on to the next game, we've got the Guardians of Faduk versus the Mehdi Mercenaries. Guardians of Faduk pick up their first
Yep.
win here, a huge win here. They really needed it. This is also for them probably the
Yeah.
best chemistry they've ever had. and it still wasn't very good chemistry. They still kind of struggled at times, but it was definitely better than it's kind of ever been. And the other thing on the other side, the Mercenaries, I think, I've given Turab a lot of slack for, being a guy who like doesn't rely on the rest of his team and like
Yeah,
really is kind of overrated at times. But this season, Turab has been killing it. He's been keeping his team alive as best as he can. Professor's been doing really well, and
yeah,
between the two of them, they've been keeping their team alive, and the rest of their team has definitely been sleeping.
100%.
So they've been doing good. But Turab killed this game. I mean, I'll pull up the stats in a little bit.
Yeah.
Did you have a chance to watch this game?
I mean, I was watching the end of it because after mine, and then I really saw that this team in the first of all, Guardians of felt like I'm saying to see them actually get a win was insane to me because the first season that the first ever game of the season, I mean, that I saw them play, I think it was Adi playing one for with Atif by my cousin and someone else, but they were literally arguing on the floor, and I was like, these three, I didn't think anything of this team on paper, like it was
Mhm.
just. It's already come back in the league. I mean, they're 1-6, but like I didn't think they would be able to go any far. And to
Yeah,
see them actually get a win this week was crazy, and
yeah,
by this much as well is insane.
100%, 100%. I will say, like, they still need, like, So here's the thing with the Guardians: they still need work. In particular, Asad
Hundred
Kazmi,
percent.
you got to hit those dang underneath shots, my dude.
Yeah, you're a
Adi,
big
you're
man,
missing
dude.
wide open
You're a
free
big
throws. You
man.
got to hit those. And then I mean, not sorry, not free throws, wide open layups. You got to hit those.
Yeah,
And then like I don't know, like they're just like defensively. Sometimes they're just kind of off, like they're just sleeping defensively sometimes.
yeah,
And I think that allows guys like Turab to hit 40 points this game. 40
yeah.
points, Turab,
I
and
think
then I think it was 28 from Professor. So between those two guys, like I mean, there was just poor defense. I don't know
yeah.
what it was, but
I think the main problem with that team is that there's no really player to actually take besides Saad. No one really to come up and take a second like spot up on that team, in my opinion, because no one's really doing the extra scoring that needs to be done. That Saad's is really doing himself.
yeah,
He's kind of putting in all the work. But I mean, with this other team, I mean, Turab and Hassan, it's kind of crazy seeing these two work together on a team. I mean, they're doing the same amount of work. They're putting in good work together. Turab's doing his driving, shooting every now and then. It's going well. And
100%.
Hustle do everything on the floor. I mean, we've seen it. Even in
Yeah, no,
football, he's a
100%.
wide
I mean, I
receiver.
think I will say, like, Sajjad Al-Casey definitely came alive this game as like the second guy. So it was 44 points for Saad, and then 27 for Sajjad. And Saad, even with the 44 points, found a way to get 4 assists. So
Yeah,
good work to Saad. Definitely came out, played strong, uh,
100%.
and excellent work for him. Yeah, I mean, I think this game was kind of weird. It was like there's just a lot of on the court arguing. I think that really, if the Mercenaries have like plan to stand any chance in the playoffs, they need a third guy to step up besides
Yeah,
Professor and Throb. And the Guardians, they just need to keep playing like they did this time.
yeah,
75 points, excellent work. If Saad, I mean Saad, the rest of the team needs to really help out Saad. I mean, I think Munuba has been doing a good job of like being kind of stepping up into that position of scoring some
yeah,
points. Adi, I know you're better than what you've been playing, so I expect to see that. And
100%.
then really like ZB and Asad, you guys really need to step up too because I've seen nothing positive from you for the most part.
Yeah,
Um, all right, moving on to the last game. Oh my God, Subrazana versus the Sadiq Scholars. Let me tell you, Sadiq Scholars, they played really well. Subrazana played very, not well, for lack of a better term.
yeah,
I don't know. This game was rough to watch as a guy who's on Subrazana. And Abbas Haider definitely struggled. Like he came out, and this is probably the worst game I've ever seen him play. And in general, our team we were stagnant on offense. We were lazy on defense. We just let a lot of like the other
yeah,
guys on the team like take open shots, and they were scoring them. Like it was just
yeah.
unnecessary. Like I like Murtaza was saying, like why is that guy scoring anything? Like I just letting him take open shots.
Yeah,
Like come on,
insane.
what are you doing, guys? Come on.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have to say though, Ali Shah, he stepped up from what I've seen, what he was doing on just playing with on Hussein's team. He kind of was put in the background, but I mean, it seems like from this season he's actually finding a lot more about how to like, use the basketball and stuff. But I know he's 100% a football guy, but I've seen a lot more progress from him. Mona Mazi, I do have to say that he. I think he has to play his role in the team a little more, even with what we had in the 76ers. I've been saying this a lot whenever people ask what went wrong with the 76ers. Like, I feel like he could have done a lot more work in the paint. But overall, he is a good player, and he could definitely, make a
Our
bigger
team
difference.
is definitely better than the way that they played, but like I
Yeah,
don't know. I mean, I don't. I guess solid scholars like listen. Raza Ahmed is a top defender. Irfan's a solid
exactly.
defender. Abu's a solid defender. So I mean, and Basil too. I mean, like all of them are solid. And Raza, honestly, he could be a an MVP candidate. This season. So
Yeah,
shout out and congratulations to the solid scholars on a well deserved victory.
definitely.
So we'll see kind of what happens this upcoming week. Let's finish this off. Let's round it out with some predictions for the upcoming week. I'm gonna pull
All
up.
right.
I'm gonna pull up the week 8 schedule here. But as I do that, what I want to hear from you, Ray, is any other thoughts on week 7, or just in general, like for where we are in the season.
Yeah, I think people gotta be a little warned that Jazba Huck is not, the same as the other teams. Even though like Shaduk's team whooped us this last week, um, I think we still have another chance. If we play them again, we definitely be prepared to beat them. But all these other teams, they kind of made a problem having me, Zulfi, ZJ on the same team again. So we'll see what goes on in these next few weeks. But I definitely think we'll be seeing somebody in the chip.
It will definitely be a fun sight to see. And
100%.
speaking of fun sights to see, I think there's going to be a lot of solid games this upcoming week, so I'm excited to see them. Let's actually start on the bottom of the list. So, week 8, Aqeedat the Muslim is facing the other 1-6 team, Guardians of Aqeedat. So, one of those teams is going to be, 2-6, and the other one's going to be one and
Yeah.
seven. Who do you got for that game?
I have my money on. I still have it on Aqeedat the Muslim, just because.
Okay.
Because I think Guardians of Fudlock, I mean, like I said, they lack like enough
Chemistry.
roles on their team. Yeah,
Yep.
and chemistry. Like they're always, you know, Atif, he doesn't really come to any games. Atif and Adi and Asad, they all don't get along really well on the floor. So I think Aqeedat the Muslim definitely has him on that one.
I It's a good point. I mean, Akita definitely has better chemistry overall. But Guardians have Saad, who's just a monster. Like
Yeah,
I mean, o- overall, I would say especially this season, he's definitely playing much better than Faisal.
yeah,
Um,
100%. I think Faisal steps up, then they got it. I mean, but I do want Aqeedat the Muslim to win 100%. But if Faisal steps
yeah,
up, I
I don't
think
know.
there's
This
a
is
good.
this is tricky. I think I'm gonna go with Aqidat also, just because you never know with Guardians. They just do silly things, and I
Yeah.
don't know. It's hard to watch sometimes. All right, next game. Let's talk about Shajat El Yazgar versus the Abbas Alamdars. This now Abbas Alamdars, they win this, they're gonna be tied with Shajat El Yazgar potentially for first,
Yeah.
and that might give them the number 1 seed. Who do you think? I mean, assuming most of their teams show up, although Shujat Yazgar pretty much has 5 every week, so
Yeah. So here's the thing. I think against Farhan and Mehdi, together, and Miz, when they're playing on the floor with Danya, and Danya can definitely do it, go in and get the rebounds, but Farhan's not going to be playing as hard as he can because I
Mhm.
know he just
He
recently
got hurt
injured his
again,
finger
right?
there. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
heard
I
that.
honestly do have my money on Sujata Alioski just because of how consistently well they've been playing over the past few weeks and how I'm confident in the fact that Daniel could support Miz and well against Mehdi and Farhan and coming on in this. I don't think there's
Yeah,
really any other threats in this game against them, but
yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I mean, I think even when Shujat Yazgar has 4 guys, they find ways to win it, and I think it just all comes
yeah,
down
it's
to
crazy.
having without a doubt, MVP, of the year for sure,
Of course,
in AA, who's just a phenomenal, who's playing just phenomenally right now, and has really led this team along with
hundred
Miz
percent.
to success. So Shujat Yazgar, we're counting on you to win this one. The next game we've got your team, Jazba Huck versus the Mehdi Mercenaries. I think we're both probably going to be in agreement on this one.
Yeah,
Jazba Huck's got to take this. I mean, the one thing that Mehdi Mercenaries has over Jazba Huck is that they've got a lot more
dives.
size,
Yeah,
but I don't think it's going to be enough. Like I think ZJ is probably going to cover Professor in this one, and I think he's going to do at least a decent enough job to keep Professor somewhat under
100%. So I think if ZJ gets Professor and then even with Turab, I think we'd be able to contain Turab with having me and Zulfi accessible on the floor. So I think we definitely have this one too. But
yeah.
I hope that these guys don't pop off as well as they did in the last game, but I think we will be able to contain them a lot better than the other team that they were playing, which was I think it was the Norjolans
Uh,
or who were they
well, maybe the
playing?
Mercenaries just played Guardians of Fadak.
Yeah, they played Guardians of Fallout, so yeah, we could definitely
If they can
definitely
lose to
hold them out a
Guardians,
lot
they're going
better.
to lose to
Yeah,
you. I mean, perhaps that's definitely a good way to see it.
yeah, it's like
But yeah, and then moving on to the next one, we got the Najwans and the Sadiq Scholars. That should be interesting. I think both teams. No, I think Sadiq Scholars are 4-3. The Najwans are 3-4.
yeah,
This could go either way. I mean, if the Najwans, they need to really show up. Like Adil can't be having bad games, like again, like he did
exactly.
last week. Mirza can't be having 10 turnovers and expect to win. So I think I'm gonna give this one to the Scholars.
Yeah, I think definitely. Even though they can make mistakes, I think that there's a chance that you know Aldo's team could still win because if they all do work together, I think it's a lot. They're gonna put a lot more work in than just Abu Irfan and who else do they have on that team? I think it's just Raza Ahmad as well. I
Basil
mean,
Abu Irfan, Razan Ahmad, Mohammad Razan,
yeah, I
Basil,
still think. I
Ehsan
still think
Farshid.
Aldo. I just think Aldo and Aziz Raza with their shooting against his team, if they do, go up to as well as they normally perform, then they could definitely beat this team, the Solid Scholars, in my opinion.
We'll see. I think this one will probably be the closest matchup this week.
100%.
Um,
100%,
then,
yeah.
then interesting. All right, we've got the Commanders of Mujtaba versus Sabra Zainab. So,
All
I
right.
mean, I'm obviously going to be rooting and predicting Sabrazam is going to come back strong, especially after Commanders of Mushabah's
Yeah.
embarrassing loss to the Aqeedat the Muslim. I think that might have gotten in their head a bit. So perhaps we'll be able to capitalize on that with a full team that shows up.
Yeah, I do have to say, I think unless Joffrey, has another crazy spasm with points, Sabres definitely has it this game.
Okay,
But
see, I'm only saying us because it's our team. You don't have to agree with me because
no, I'm
any
agreeing.
person in
But
their right
unless
mind
Joff,
probably wouldn't.
because the thing is, Joffrey's that's who I have my most faith in because he gets the team the most hyped up in my opinion. But
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, Joffrey's pretty good at getting into people's heads. So if he's
exactly,
able to do that, I think that Commanders
I
might
think
have
he's been successful in it. I honestly might have to change my opinion. I think Joff's team's gonna get it.
it.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
I was agreeing for no reason yet. I think
Yeah,
Joff's
I
gonna
had a
win
feeling
that
you
one.
were. Especially because I don't know if we're gonna be able to stop Abbas Haider or any of those guys, but we'll see. Maybe we can get into Rack's head, and then that might mess them up.
Maybe, maybe.
All right, and then the last game for this week, we've got the Vilayat Warriors and the Enlightened Elite. This should be a good one too. I don't know if Shark's going to be showing up this week. I think if he does, then I think Enlightened Elite will take it. But if not, I think Vilayat should be able to pull it out.
I mean, even without Shodok, I've still seen the Enlightened Elite do some crazy things just because Sean was just hyping up the whole entire team. But I think with Shodok, 100% they're gonna win. Like we all know this. But without them, I think they definitely without Shodok, they definitely do have a chance of whooping them. But with Shodok, I think 100% the
Well,
Shodok would win. But without has a chance.
Well, as Nabil said on the podcast that was released earlier today, Shark is guardable. We're just not sure how. So, but I think that this team, if they do like a zone defense, they might be able to kind of
Yeah, because they have
minimize,
a
at
lot of
least
good
keep them under
defensive
50,
people.
you know?
Yeah,
Um, but we'll see. Hey, anything can happen. I'm excited for this Sunday. I hope you're
100%.
excited. 100%. There we go. That's the attitude I love to see
You
from
know
you,
it.
Ray Ray. And, any last words, final thoughts? What do you got?
Last words, final thoughts. Everyone knows Jezebel Huck's gonna win because we're the truth. That's already in our name, Huck. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I think Huck means right, rather
Huck
like
is
you know,
truth, right? It could be
right.
both of them.
But
I know.
but yeah, I mean, same thing, no problem. But yeah, but inshallah, man, just by Huck, as long as you guys can keep up this tenacity that you've been playing with, then I think
100.
it should be good. And keep up the great work. But we'll see what happens this week. Until then, viewers at home, thank you for tuning in. As always, I'm your loyal host, Reg, here to serve you as needed. And with us, we had Rayyan Kazmi, who again, I am excited for what sorts of memes and other fun audio visual, Gen Z things that he's able to put out there. We're excited for
Sure.
it. Until then, folks, you have a good day, and we'll see you on Sunday. Allah Hafiz.
Peace out. Allah Hafiz.
Stop.